Often lately, negative thoughts make me believe my own unworthiness to a degree, that I would like my physical body. What is interesting, whenever I follow through feeling the thoughts of giving up and death, I feel very relieved afterwards, and a whole new realm of possibility opens up. What is happening? Thank you. To leave my physical body. Yeah, the reason why physical death seems appealing to you is not because you actually physically want to die, it's because you feel the weight of your story in it, and that's what you want to do. Like, it feels weighty to believe in being you, and you most probably, more than likely, have no negative stories about yourself. So you think that you're unworthy or not good enough or never can make it or won't be successful, and of course that's really weighty to have these negative ideas weighing down on yourself, and none of them are true. What is true? You don't need to be any of that. Anything that you believe yourself to be. And I think one of the most depressive thoughts that you can have is that you can't do it and that you're worthless to this society. Because as humans, it's important for us to be part of the group and to feel like we're participating as part of the group. And so what we can get is very negative stories about ourselves, that we're not worthy, we're not good enough, and none of that's true. But we form these stories and we live this story, and often this happens often, is that enabled helplessness in our society. Because we're quite wealthy in our society, in Western societies, what can happen to people is they have overprotective parents that don't want them to leave the nest. That's always sort of implying that they can't do things for themselves or can't make it. An education system that does this, or we have benefits that do this, and there are good things about benefits, but I also think it gives people this enabled helplessness. And when you help people too much, it makes them feel like they can't do it for themselves, and that feeling really makes people feel suicidal. And I've realized a lot of young men that I've spoken with have this feeling like they can't make it, they won't make it, that they're not good enough, and it makes you feel like you don't want to be alive. But it's not that you don't want to be alive, like kill the body. It's that you don't want the weight of feeling like you can't do it. And the answer to it is seeing who you truly are, that who you really are is this moment, and this moment is love beyond any story. And then in the story, try and recondition yourself to the more positive. See that you can do things and focus on more positive things throughout the day. Because if you're focusing on everything you do as you being a failure, and you know it might not even be conscious of it. Most of the time people aren't. If they go and put the washing out and internally they're feeling like they put it out like a failure, they didn't hang it up right, or they go and wash up the dishes and they think this, and or whatever they do, and then they just get more and more exhausted and more feel like they can't do anything because their mind is constantly putting them down and they're not even conscious of it. So often when I ask people, you know, how they feel about something, I know that what they're going to tell me isn't true because that's just what they think on the surface. But underneath that, there's these other deeper thoughts. And I think that often suicidal thoughts come when you feel like you can't participate in this society, that you can't make it, you can't earn money, you can't be successful, you can't give. And all of us want to give. It's our natural instinct. Like when I come, so I'm just now at my mum's house, and Khaleesi comes, and you know, straight away what her joy is to go around and guard the house. She goes around and pees on stuff, and then she goes out and checks out the boundary, and throughout the day she's constantly doing her rounds, making sure the house is secure. It's like her job, and she wants to give that. She wants to protect and give that, and it gives her motivation and joy. I see how proud she is going around the perimeter and how much she enjoys doing that. And it's the same with us humans. We want to give our heart, and we get it all confused and muddled in all these stories of being told what we have to be. And really, our body, our heart knows what we have to be, and we get muddled by power and hatred and success and money and greed. And deeper than all of that, there's this like natural love for doing things, like Khaleesi wanting to guard the garden. Like she wants to do it naturally. I don't have to like set an alarm and be like, Khaleesi, go and check the garden. She naturally is doing it. Her body's like in tune with it. And she loves it. And I feel like we're trained in the wrong way in our society. We're trained to do things out of force, which I think makes people depressed and exhausted and feel hopeless and not loved, rather than letting people glow and shine and give what they can give. Where it's like this pressure, you've got to earn money and you've got to do it like this, and it's like a society mentality, a society story, which I think can lead to depressive thinking and feeling. Whereas really what we should be focusing on is what we love and what our heart naturally wants to give. I'm a triple Gemini. I'm going to be a talker in the society. I'm going to be an intellect, a talker, and a philosopher. Funny that's what I ended up. Like I couldn't help it. It was just what I always wanted to do. Like I think I wrote my first play when I was like 15 years old, and I was writing stories, and I just was obsessed with stories. As a kid, I remember like, I would have this little tape recorder and I'd make all these little houses for my hamster. And then I would record his journey through the houses. I'd be like, and now he's making it over like Death Bridge. I just loved it. And like my little dolls, like lining them up and making all these stories. I found it fascinating, and learning from stories and understanding the world through stories. I loved theatre and Shakespeare and performing and all these things that involved storytelling. To me, story was wonder. It was like a great story leaves you in awe at the world, but it also teaches you things about how to be human. It's so beautiful. But I understand that's not for everyone. And if you made another human try to do that or have my feeling towards stories, it would be like it would be like effort, like the alarm being set. And all of us have these natural qualities of giving, and giving feels like love. And it's like a letting go as well, simultaneously. Like you give it, like I give these words and I totally let them go. They're now everybody else's words. Like it's like a total giving. And this is what should be encouraged, I think, in society. I think though that we make people feel like failures because we concentrate on mathematics, on English, on exams and examination and stress and getting things done, and then having to work in these particular environments, and distrust, like having to have checkups on people because we don't trust them, rather than encouraging empathy and love. These are two main qualities which I think make a great society, is empathy and love, that people want to do things to give to their society, to help others that are in their society and want their society to thrive. I don't think many people feel like that. I think a lot of people feel like, stick it to the man, stick it to the man. We are not sexist anymore, Lisa. Stick it to the woman. But that sounds incredibly rude. Yeah, you got to just say, stick it to the man. You say stick it to the woman, it sounds terrible. In English, that sounds like you're wanting to rape her, you know, it doesn't sound good. Meh, 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 meh. So nice to be doing this live stream like this, because sometimes I'm a little uncomfy in my chairs, you know, the hard chairs. It's a nice thing, and it's sort of fun. Boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Boop, beep, boop, beep. Sorry, got into a Khaleesi song. Boop, beep, boop. Nope, not gonna do it. Zoop. You see, I just can't keep the mouth shut. Triple Gemini. All day I'm making sounds. I don't always like talking all the time, but I like to make sounds. A lot of verbal diarrhea. Okay. So, on the note of suicide, it's not you that wants to die physically. It's that these stories that you convinced yourself that you are wants to die. So what is it that's always here? Remember who you truly are. A story comes and goes, a feeling comes and goes, an idea comes and goes. What doesn't come and go? And that's love, that's total love. What doesn't come and go is what you are.